Hi, my name's Ray. Sorry about that. It's just, there's a lot going on around here. I'm kind of double parked here, so I'm just in my car, basically here in London. I've just been out and about because I can, because I have a working lifestyle that enables me and allows me to do that. I'm an online entrepreneur. I've been online for a little up to a year now. I mean, I've been in the space for longer than that, but as far as engaged in the business side of it, the enterprise side of it, a little bit more than that. However, more recently, I've connected with a online network of empowered people that basically really, it's growing exponentially. Its rankings in the internet world are just mind blowing of what's been achieved in the time frame that it has. Not to talk about money so much as money being the measure, other than the measure of the value that's shared. So we're talking over $50 million worth of money that's cash flowing through the business in less than a year. So that's considerable. But yeah, let's talk about money then. And this is a subject that it seems to me that there's a lot of stigma, negative stigma attached to it, which is effectively that comes from a limiting belief, that comes from one's kind of values, that comes background, education, upbringing, inputs, family. One's perspective about money is something that it seems that is learned. We don't just pop out of the womb and just start thinking dollars and cents, though some people probably got into it earlier than others, possibly more because of the environment with which they lived. It's something to be said is that people who are actually mostly successful have grown up within a family business. And that's something that somebody did some research. So, for example, you've got mom and pop shops that are becoming fewer and far between because partly these big giants are squeezing them out. And the economy didn't help thanks to the banksters who basically screwed that all up. Or maybe it was by design, but that's a whole separate discussion. This is about enabling you and talking about money. So effectively, I'm not going to necessarily say that it equates to, say, guns. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Okay? Money is not the root of all evil. People are. Now, the pursuit or the love of all these of money, that's all mindset stuff. Okay? The money otherwise being some kind of abstract notion, this arbitrary thing that happens to be printed on or numbers digitized on a screen, it's an idea. It's just a representation of energy. Energy meaning the value. Energy, something, we add meaning to that energy. Money is just a vehicle. It's just a representation of value added or value taken away. Effectively, it's a trade. So, you want to buy something, you pull out money, and it's a representation of an idea. The idea is that you want that, they have, you get, you trade, you this, you that, and you give and take. And it seems to be just a mechanism for managing that. Now, a lot of people then start using languages of, well, you're a sellout because you took the business and you sold, and you did this, and you went in and you did it for the money. Well, does anybody ever ask the people who did it for the money what they plan to do with that money? I mean, I see a lot of people do some pretty crass things with money, and that would be more reflective of who those people are. And sometimes we wonder, how did those sons of bitches get so rich and whatever? They're not adding any value, they just seem to know how to take. Possibly. But having read a lot of books now, and having, listened to a lot of people and have interviewed and have met people who are highly successful, on the whole, you may not necessarily agree with how they do it or what it is necessarily that they're doing, but on the whole, for example, people think of Gates as being, this ogre who is just so flipping, or maybe there's jealousy in there, I don't know, but somebody who's got so much flipping money, doesn't know anything to do, happens to have the largest charity foundation in the world, the Bill Gates Foundation. It is the largest, most moneyed up charity foundation in the world. Doesn't mean there aren't others that are actually super big, but it is the largest one. Now, one could argue what they spend it on and what they do is maybe not necessary, but that's according to your values, according to your beliefs. So, that money, even Warren Buffett has aligned himself as they've come up with trying to say all these people who've got so much friggin' money out there who happen to be very good at making money, they happen to be very good at it. How about foregoing X amount of that revenue and applying it towards kind of, philanthropic activity? The Carnegies, believe it or not, the Rockefellers. There are a lot of people out there who have done evil things to get money. There are a lot of people who have done a lot of evil things with their money. And that's true. But that says more about them than it does about money. The point is that money is just a way of accessibility to goods, services, opportunities, lifestyle, quality, whatever you want to call it. So, for example, somebody who's got money, I know, is now affording homeschooling. Now, we could get into the discussion of education as to whether or not that's a good thing, but if you look around you as to what's being learned and what's then being kind of put out there onto the world, a lot of it's not particularly very good. This stress, pressure thing of exam focus, got to take exams and tests. Is that a good thing? I don't see that it is, because it's basically teaching people how to operate under stress. Why? Because then you go on to say, okay, what you're instilling is good little workers. How to handle stress. So, the question is, are we doing what it is that we need to do with what we have? So, people who misspend. For example, I have a problem paying my taxes that then get used to go off and bomb the hell out of another country. I have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with that money turning around and building up a hospital, a school, or a library, or art programs, or music programs, or more green spaces, or conservation efforts, or making sure the roads are security in the sense that you're able to be able to walk down the street because there's enough to feel safe, because there's enough to go around, because then nobody then feels the need to have to go and mug you to get it because they don't have it. That's where I want to see my money go, or money go, money flow. It's not about the money. Money's not the evil. It's what the people do with it, the people who are doing things with it. They're the ones that need to be looked at. But as usual, it's very, very hard to, it's easy to point fingers, but it's very, very hard to look at ourselves. And part of being attractive to getting money, attractive that people want to give you money or to trade with you or to do things, is that you're attractive, that you're doing things that are adding value to people's lives. You have a good message, you have a good activity, you have a good opportunity, you have a good way of doing it, and it's actually making things happen. And people know that when it's happened, it works for them. And if it resonates and it's doing things for them, then they'll get on board. And if it doesn't, it won't. But money is not the issue. Love of money, well, that could be a perspective on the issue. However, what people are actually, what the emphasis of that money, of what it's to be applied to, because money is just, it's to be part of the flow. You take money out of the equation, it doesn't do it. And some people think that my perspective is it's right wing, left wing. But I'm not trying to pigeonhole here. I'm just saying that you put money on the table, it does absolutely nothing on its own. It just sits there. And all that happens, and the value of that money is going off arbitrarily in some other sphere somewhere else. That it's like real estate, bricks and mortar. The fact is that property values have gone up. Why? I don't know. The fact is that a 3-bed, 1 up, 2 down, or 2 up, whatever, has got a footprint of not very, very much. £1 million in a city of London? For what? Bricks and mortar? A roof over your head? That the point is that we all as human beings are entitled to have shelter, good health, education, and so on. And now all of a sudden we have a roof over it, and there's value placed on that to the point of millions of dollars that are worth more than the lives of the people that we either go and starve, or we don't help out, or we bomb, or we don't have the facility to help when they've got illness. These whole things are just they're arbitrary. There's just placed value, but then the thing is as a group or a collective consciousness or a community, we've bought into or we've agreed to. Now, I understand barter systems and trade systems can be quite difficult. And so money can be a very, as wise as it was created, is that it's a very easy, much more easier mechanism to do things. But even the most left-wing nutcases that I've ever come across, or right-wing nutcases I've ever come across, basically, don't do it about the money. But then, they're penny pinching. Oh, I've got to get the best deal, or I've got to do this. And their charities are some of the most mismanaged. And, what value are you adding if you just made yourself bankrupt? You ran yourself out of business because you didn't know what the hell you're doing. Why? Because you have a fear of money or an anger about money or something about money. Until that vehicle has shifted, money is here. Whether it's in paper form, plastic form, whatever form. What goes on around money? That's a different discussion. But if you are out there looking to make money because you want to do something with it in the world, put your kids through a decent school, to clothe them, to enable them to go learn to skills that they have a passion for, to afford the opportunity to go on a holiday to see the beautiful places of the world that there's no reason why you shouldn't, to be able to connect with people in ways that normally you wouldn't be able to because you could take them out to dinner, to be able to go to a restaurant and be able to tip heftily because somebody's working and has provided you a fantastic experience, to be able to basically help someone out in a time of need or a family member who's struggling with health, to be able to, have a car that's reliable instead of buying a piece of junk that's always in the mechanic. That's just stupid management. But to be able to afford to be able to do those things, what do you need? You need some money. So money is not the issue. It's how we perceive it and how we deal with it and how we go get it and what we do about it when we've got it. So if you're looking to make some money, the online world is a fantastic way to do it. And there's fantastically proven ways and solutions and strategies with which to do it. I'd be happy to share those with you. You can make some money. You can be extravagantly successful, or you can be just like, look, I just want to make a little. That's a choice. And it's about choice. Because the money will enable you and afford you the opportunity to choose. And in many ways, that's a freedom of choice. Now, we want to have many discussions about whether or not we actually have real freedoms of choice, and that's a choice to look at it that way. The fact that you can even have that conversation. The fact that you may choose to opt out and just get off the grid and go solar and go alternative and grow your own and do all that. That's a choice. That's a value. There'll be others who say, actually, no, I want to really live right smack in the middle of it all and live large and be material and do all those things. That's a choice. Who's to judge that? Not me. I'm just saying that the fact that money has become such an issue and creates the issues around it create so many problems. And money, you put it on the table, it does absolutely nothing. You pick it up and put it in your hands, and you think about it, and you process it, and you decide where you want to direct it, and you manage it. We don't own money. We're merely managers, and some are obviously better at it than others. We are merely managers of money. Okay? But if we allow it to have the mindset to rule us, meaning that we're doing everything because of that, as opposed to what would you do if you had it? And I've had many a time when I was a teacher, I'd ask the students a question, something to write about. What would you do if you won the lottery? Because why? Because the interesting notion is that so many people have really weird and messed up mindset about money, have won lotteries, and have basically turned their lives upside down for the worse, are bankrupt now, have burnt it up, don't know what to do. Why? Because they had a very unhealthy relationship or concept about money. So, like many things, it's a learned thing. So learn about it. Learn what one can do. Learn how to get it. Learn to be effective. And that is what this opportunity that I'd like to share with you, that I have to share with you, that I know others are doing. There's many of examples who people have managed to shift mindset around it and are now incredibly successful. Because why? Such a big key to success is your mindset. And based on that, one can then apply that to their world and their beliefs and value around money. Because it's what you want to do with it that's valuable. Not so much to have it, but to manage it, to direct it in particular ways that are good and healthy and empowering. And so on that note, I really hope that you get your prosperity. I really am really keen to support you in that. And on that note, can't wait to meet you, to hook up with you at the crossroads of our prosperity as we venture forth and make our way through life, hopefully living lives that we deserve, good life, good living, and happy, blissfully, not for, I mean, if anything, there's a legacy. Okay? This person lived a happy, fruitful, and blissful life that, and then just by power of example, helped change the world. So on that note, let's go out and get us some and make it happen and really, really change the world for a better place, because after all, this is what it's about. Look around us, things the way that have been done haven't worked. The viewpoint about money doesn't work. Another way of looking at it needs to be, or has to come forward, and the best place to start with that is from ourselves. So once again, thank you for taking the time to listen to me. You could be doing something else. I hope that added some value to you. I hope that it's slightly caused you to think a little bit differently about what one can do with money or about money or what money is about, and to go get some and attract it and bring it into your life and then go do some great things with it. So great. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great year. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.